Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at Algo. Before we jump into the price section, just like to say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out, it's free to join. Okay, so for the most part we're still looking for the same things. We're looking for that potential where we were looking for this as a low and looking to actually push to the upside here. We need to be cautious though, however, because we have talked about this in previous videos, that we were looking for that possibility of a fourth wave to the upside here, and that we could actually be looking for this lower drop towards this 1352 to this 1045 range. So, like I said, we need to be cautious here. This move is quite a strong move to the downside here, and we could actually be looking to extend out. So we're going to talk about the potential of holding this structure where we could actually look for a continuation to the upside, as well as that possibility where we could actually be looking for this move to actually break down here. So let's talk about the bullish side of this. And what we were talking about was the potential that, we're looking for a bigger move up here where we were looking for something like this, counting this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into here, and then looking at this whole move as a B wave. So we did come down to that 786, and we have started to move away here. The problem is the way we've done so is not the neatest of structures, and it is possible, yes, that we could still be within the C wave, but we need to be aware that the structure is leaving a little bit to be desired at the moment, and basically the way we're dropping down here can always lead to further extension to the downside. So we need to be careful of that fact. So what are we looking for if we are looking for that upside? So I'm going to just turn this off and we're going to discuss this internal structure here. So I'm still looking for that possibility that this area might hold. And we could actually be looking for this potential to actually see a C wave to the upside here. And we're looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into here. Basically, this would make this our A wave high, or alternatively, our wave 1. Then looking at this whole move as a WXY, where this is an ABC as a flat. Basically, this would be a connector wave and then another WXY down into the zone. So the thing is within this, technically speaking, the one-to-one is down here towards this 1927. So we could actually see this come down, but we did get a reaction off the 0.618. So what I want to see now is whether we can actually manage to start to move away from this zone and start to take some of these key areas, this high as well as this X wave here at this 2231, and then finally this 2411 region. But as long as we stay below those, we need to just be cautious because this could even do something like this as a 1, 2, and then actually start to break down even deeper. So we need to be cautious of this fact. This is the support zone we need to hold if we're looking for this potential continuation here, where this is an A, a B, and then looking for this C wave to the upside. So that one-to-one would be that 2509. So this is still viable at the moment. If we lose this 1785, it would invalidate the structure. If this is to develop into a bigger five-wave structure, it would have to move up towards this 2926 region. And basically then we could start looking at the fact that this is a 1, 2, looking for a third, fourth, and then a fifth wave to the upside. The problem that I do have with this structure is as a 1, 2, this is quite a large structure in relation to this wave 1. But sometimes these things do happen, so we need to just be aware that it is possible. So as long as we hold this area, we could look to start to turn around here and look to break to the upside. But like I said, we need to get back above this 2411 range. And then really, we want to get a nice strong move with good volume up towards the zone of this 2926 for confirmation of a bigger structure here, where this is a five-wave move. Alternatively, if we do just get a single five-wave structure back to the top of this channel and towards this one-to-one, I would be cautious because this could actually indicate that we're going to look to actually break down from that point. And we could actually still be looking for, uh, you know, lower prices here. So this is going to be the key zone we need to hold here in the short term if we're looking for this bullish potential. We have actually come back and tested this channel again, so this could look to turn around here. But like I said, it's too early to say. We need to get back up of some of these highs. And the reason for that, so I'm going to go through a couple of things here. What we need to be aware of is, okay, so let's talk about some things that are validated. The previous video, we were talking about that possibility of having a 1-2-1-2, but we actually came down too low, so this is now invalidated. So I'm actually just going to remove that. Um, the other thing we were talking about was being cautious of a move up into this zone here, this 23.12 to this 26.81. So we need to be cautious. We did come up into that 50% here. This could actually be a correction completed, and then we could actually look to break down. So what this would potentially look like is something like this. If I do this, basically what we're looking for is that potential to actually look for a breakdown, and that 1 to 1 would actually look to take us towards the 1627. So I'm keeping an eye on this. This would be looking at this whole move from the top here as a W. We were looking at this as an ABC, as a completed move. Potentially this could actually be a bigger move where this is a W and X and a Y. So that 1 to 1 is down here towards the 1625. So an interesting zone here, however, is this 0.618, which is actually sitting here at this 1891. So if we do actually just get a three-wave move down into this zone, potentially what we could get is a completion here of this Y wave just really short. The alternative is that that could become an A wave, we get a B wave, and then we actually look to push down something like this, which could then look to take us back into that zone. So this is why it's important for us to get back over some of these key points. As long as we're below them, we can always extend to the downside here. So the other way that we need to be careful of looking at this, I'm going to, yeah, we were talking about this possibility of looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then looking for a fifth wave, but we actually came up and crossed this wave one. So this doesn't validate the fact that this could be a five-wave move as a typical impulse. However, it could still be a diagonal, but the problem is it would have to actually push down past this 1465 for this to be valid. And we'd want to see this play out as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'd want to get a move past this 1465. The problem with this is if we did form a structure like this as a diagonal, it would not be a good sign because the fact is it's made up of five-wave moves. And basically what we'd have to be careful of is that if we did get a bigger five-wave move down like this, we would have to treat that as a wave one, and then we'd be looking for that potential of a wave two, and then actually looking to break down even deeper than our initial target here, which is sitting towards this 1352 to this 1045. That would indicate much deeper moves. So really, we want to stay away from that if possible, because otherwise that would indicate we're going to actually see much, much lower prices coming in here. So the other way we can look at this is potentially looking at this move in this manner, though, where this becomes a 1-2, and then we have an additional 1 and 2 here. So this isn't confirmed. This is just something I'm tracking. Potentially, we could also argue that we could still see a move to the upside here one more time, and this would still wouldn't invalidate this possibility because we have this as a 1-2 and another 1-2 here. Really, unless it comes back up past these highs of this 2939, basically it would only invalidate it then. So as long as we have corrective structure here below this point, we'd have to still be cautious that we could actually look to break down as long as we fail to break back above this zone here of this 2641 and maintain price action above that. So this is something we need to be cautious of. Basically, this would lead us to a bigger sell-off. The third wave, typically with the circled count, would actually look to take us down to this 1000, sorry, 0.1076 region, and then we would be looking for that fourth and that possibility of a fifth wave here. So this is going to be important. We need to hold these key zones. If we fail to do so, basically this could actually push us in a much bigger sell-off here, where we could actually look to potentially complete as low as this 0861 to this 0731 region. So this is something we'll be keeping an eye on. If we do start to sell off here, need to be cautious. This could actually indicate quite a big drop here. I mean, it's potentially a 50% drop from where we currently are. It's not confirmed yet, but it is just something that we need to be aware of. So within the structure here, the dangerous thing is, we don't have a lot to work with, but what we do have, basically what I'm looking for here to see whether this actually develops more is just, I'm looking at this as a 1, 2, basically a wave 1 into here, a flat as a wave 2, and then looking for this potential to actually extend out. So the first thing that would sort of confirm this is going on to me, where we're actually getting an additional five-wave structure here, would be if we do get a move down to this 1800 area. If we do move down to there, basically I'd be looking at this as 1, 2, 3, 5 into this zone, potentially looking to target out the 1773 area. And then basically we'd be looking for continuation of a fourth and a fifth here, which could look to take us towards the 1721 to the 1658 region. So this is going to be an important zone here. If we do look to break down into this area, potentially we could actually lose this low here at this 1598, in which case it would become more likely that rather we're going to see a bit more continuation down here towards this 1352 to this 1045 region. So this is still something we keep an eye on. Like I said, there's no confirmation of this at the moment. We could still count this just as a corrective move as a W, X, and a Y, and then it turns around and takes out these key highs here of this 2124 and this zone here of this 2234. If we take out those two zones, basically it invalidates the potential of it extending as I have it marked. However, we need to be aware that when moves do start to extend, we could see this play out as another 1, 2 here, and then we'd get a deeper third, fourth, and fifth, in which case these target areas that I have here as typical zones, those can be extended out and potentially, for instance, if we were just looking at this as a 1 and a 2, basically if we had an extension again within this, possibly it might look to target out rather this 2618 than the 1618. And then, this would just stretch this count deeper and then potentially look to put us into some of those zones that we talked about, with either the fact that we're looking at this as a bigger breakdown where we're looking to try and get down and target this low area here, this 1076, or alternatively, if it is actually starting to break down in a diagonal pattern, potentially we could be looking to move down towards this zone and cross this 1465. If we do move down here, though, we need to be cautious. Like I said, we can look at this potentially as a bigger corrective structure here from this high W, X, and Y, or A, B, and C. In this case, if we had a five-wave move. But what we would have to be aware of is the fact that this count would still be valid. So any kind of a three-wave move that faces rejection again, potentially could lead to another sell-off to the downside here. It is also possible, because we're looking for a fifth wave here, we could actually see something play out slightly different here, where we form this as a wave 1, 2, potentially we form another wave 3, 4, and 5, something like this as a diagonal pattern, forming a descending contracting wedge pattern to the downside. So if we do just get zigzag structure here, basically that's what I'd be looking out for. Potentially we could be looking to complete this move as a diagonal to the downside. So that would potentially explain why it's so choppy, and would kind of fit into that idea that this is a zigzag here and that it's not a diagonal, but we'd have to obviously wait for that confirmation. Okay, so basically in the short term here, if we want to look for that continuation to the upside, we've got our key levels, basically this 20 cent 25 to this 1884. If we hold this zone, potentially we could still see this potential for this move to the upside here in a C wave. However, if we start to lose this 1884 and we break down under here, we sort of start to consolidate, then it's more likely that we're actually going to lose this low here of the 1785, and this would invalidate this potential of looking at this as an ABC, as a zigzag up to this 25 cent, or even as this five-wave structure up to this 29.26. And basically, once we lose this zone, the next zone that we'd have to look to potentially find support, really once we start to lose that low, that we're already losing that 786 at the 1773. So yeah, once we start to lose 1773, it becomes much less likely that we're going to see this continuation up. So I'd be probably favoring the more bearish count. Even at the moment, though, the way this is dropping, it is looking less likely, but we'll have to see. Potentially, if we can find support here towards this 1925 and this, yeah, in between this zone here, this 1925 to this 1895 area, potentially we could look for that support to come in again. But yeah, it really needs to start to move away. This 1884, once we start breaking this, the prospects are not very good. So the reason for this is, like I said, once we start to break through these zones here, it starts to become close to these 1.618 areas where then we have this potential of a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, and then we'd have to count another 5-wave structure here. And then in that case, potentially looking to actually come back and retest its channel towards this 1560 area if it doesn't extend out further. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to Discord. Come check it out. It's free to join, as well as that there are affiliate links for both PrimeXBT and BYBIT down there, both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. If you do not have an account, using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone, have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.